We're changing the density from 10 units an acre to a density of 35.
There are questions that arise, and you all knew I was going to have questions. So let me ask the applicant's attorney. Does this project live or die without the density bonus language?
This project does not.
But this is a nice project at 18, so I'm kind of reluctant to say go to 24 or even 35. That folks come here and want to be here to not be downtown Dadeland, to not be Doral, to not be Brickell, to not be Miami. Existing residents are going to say, enough. And you can create the boundaries of it, but to go ahead and do the overlay, I think opens the door for a lot of unscrupulous folks that seem to regularly pass through these chambers. I certainly am not a fan of the density bonus, nor am I a big fan at all. 450 square feet to me is warehousing, not housing. Councilwoman.
Told you guys it was an oasis kind of night, right? So, I'm really excited about this project. Have you made any inroads with a potential breakfast brunch spot? Because the restaurants are lunch, dinner, but how do we activate that space during the day? I'm a brunch girl, so what do you have for me? This is essentially what I'm doing. I did ask about the square footage because I was a little concerned about that, and this fine gentleman here mentioned to me that in another municipality, they have studios at 363 square feet. This footprint is smaller than what we've been entertaining. Even at the City Hall site, that density was more. The potential Alger site, that density is more. So this here is far less.
Alger's density was 15. This is 24.
In an abundance of caution, I'm concerned that we're exposing ourselves to some liability in the future. Remember, this is a comp plan amendment that has to be sent to the state with agency review. FDOT's going to be looking at this. FDOT's already called us out on increased density.
So for me, I'm supporting this, and I encourage my colleagues to support this very important amenity in my community. And if it is supported tonight, I can't wait to say welcome home.
Because what we're going to be approving here is not just for this particular site. It's going to be multi-site, and it's going to affect a larger area. Can you help me understand, question for staff, how these changes in creating this new land use is going to affect the other properties that were in that yellow highlighted area, including Malibu Bay, Waterstone?
The properties that are 5 acres or more would now be able to take advantage of this zoning category.
Looking at the aerial, all of the remaining vacant parcels are clearly in excess of 5 acres.
Obviously, everyone in this residential community is going to use the turnpike right there off of Campbell Drive. So I'm happy to approve this tonight.
Councilman Roth?
What else is there to say? Right? I mean, all of you have said the right things. I think it's just a perfect blend and a perfect match.
When distinctions are attempted to be made between this project and the D.R. Horton project, it kind of falls apart when we look at the scope of the potential here, because clearly it's who's asking, not what they're asking for.
No, and it's with visuals.
Clearly this is a case of what's being asked for, who's asking rather than what's being asked for. I'm glad you agree, because you were among 3 of my colleagues who expressed the sentiment that right now I'm not really interested in approving any additional bedrooms. So that's what we're doing right here. We are approving additional bedrooms. Vice Mayor.
It's these type of projects that are going to continue to. We've got to make these type of zoning changes so that we can continue the sprawl.
You really want to use the word sprawl?
I want to use the words that I feel express my excitement about the project. So with that in mind, I'd like to make the motion to approve.
And that's your motion. Vice Mayor Guzman, seconded by Councilman Roth.